You are listening to the Think Brick Australia podcast. Think Brick Australia represents the clay, brick and paver manufacturers of Australia. Brick by brick, our podcast will discuss technical information and architectural case studies with special guests. I'm your host, Elizabeth McIntyre, the CEO of Think Brick Australia. On today's episode, we're going to talk about brick maintenance. And I must say that bringing a brick lover, this is a great relationship because bricks are very low maintenance. But there are times when you need to show them a little bit of love. And on today's episode, I'd like to welcome back Michael Kungris, and we're going to talk about the key areas that we need to maintain bricks in.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Great to be here.
So, Michael, I guess if I think about brick maintenance and bearing in mind my own situation where I've had bricks sort of been laid for about 8 years now. During the first COVID, we were looking to do things around the house without obviously leaving the house. So we just borrowed my parents' gurney, a little bit of a high pressure hose at a safe distance. And we sort of got rid of a lot of that sort of moss and dirt, and things came up really beautifully around the brickwork. We weren't going too close. In those 8 years, Michael, I don't think the bricks really asked for much attention. We felt good giving them some. But is there any other elements where you sort of think the bricks are crying out for a little bit of attention?
You know, bricks are low maintenance and they shouldn't be crying out for attention. But if we want to make sure that brick is looking as good in year 8 as it did in year 1, then some ongoing sweeping or light pressure gurning or brushing is a really good and simple way to keep that brick wall looking just as good as it did the first day it was laid.
So, Michael, when are some instances when you're looking at your bricks and you're thinking maybe they're just trying to give you a little bit of a wink for attention? What's our most common inquiry?
Yeah, one of our most common inquiries is around efflorescence, and that's when you see a white staining of the brick. But a lot of the time, this is just natural. Bricks are made from the earth, from clays, from raw materials. They're laid with mortar, and what happens, especially in the first 3 to 6 months, is that some of the salts find their way from inside the brick to the surface. And all we recommend to all those inquirers is just getting a stiff brush and brushing that salt off periodically as it appears, and continue to do that over a period of 6 to 12 months. And by that time, all the salts would have released themselves to the surface and your brick wall will be back looking as good as ever.
And, you know, it is something that everyone rings up and sort of says, oh, my goodness, what's happening with my bricks? But it's not affecting their structural capacity or anything like that. And it's a very easy fix.
It's a very easy fix and it's quite common. And like we said, just by brushing it and removing the salts from the surface, giving those salts time to make their way to the surface, it will be gone in 6 months, 12 months maximum.
So, Michael, what about those other sort of stains which just happen, you know, when you're doing things around the house, landscaping, or there's a bit of oil stain from your car or things like that? What do you do for those?
Just simple maintenance tools like brushing, sweeping, hosing your brick wall. If there's some stains on it or if there's dirt being put on it from a landscaping escapade that you've done, or it's down the side of the house where it's a little bit damp and there's some organic growth, just brushing it off periodically just to ensure it doesn't accumulate, and that way it doesn't lead into more severe issues.
Michael, we do have a couple of areas where we would recommend a more professional brick cleaning approach, and one of them I think is manganese stains. Could you just describe what that stain's going to look like?
Typically manganese stains are dark blue or brownie coloured stains, and again, it goes back to how bricks are made. They're made from raw materials, from the earth, and sometimes that clay can contain some form of manganese. And sometimes we do use manganese, and sometimes our members use manganese to colour the bricks. So when you see these stains, typically we use different types of acids to remove these stains. So I would recommend getting a professional brick cleaner in to look at these in a little bit more detail.
That's really important because I think a lot of people think that they can do this themselves, and then perhaps they use the wrong pressure or the wrong acid, and then they end up ruining their entire brick wall.
Yeah, it's really easy to misdiagnose a stain and use the wrong acid, and in which case it's going to make the stain worse, or you might create a bigger problem. So having a professional come in and look at it, diagnose it and use the right acid for the right job is really, really important to make sure those bricks are looking great.
And ThinkBrick does have a full list of accredited brick cleaners that have been trained and accredited by the industry. So you know that if you have an accredited brick cleaner come to your building to check it out and clean it, that's that reassurance from the industry that they're fully accredited and approved.
And there would be over 12 different types of common stains that are found in brickwork. So having that professional come out and look at it is really important. And also, depending on where you are in Australia, might depend on the type of stains that are more common. So it's really important to know the brick cleaning course is a national course.
Yes.
And so all the brick cleaners in the relevant areas are accustomed to the common stains.
And I think we've spoken about a lot of stains, and certainly you can see what these stains look like on our website. But Michael, as you know, I do a lot of things whilst I'm listening to podcasts. So where can people go outside of our website to find out some more information?
Yeah, so the ThinkBrick website has an entire section dedicated to brick cleaning. So I'd definitely head there. We have manuals and fact sheets that homeowners can look at to understand a little bit more about brick cleaning and brick stains, but absolutely head to the brick cleaning portion of the ThinkBrick website to find that accredited brick cleaner.
And that goes for builders too. Sometimes when they complete houses, it's great to get the brick cleaning done. And you certainly don't want all of that beautiful brickwork to be destroyed by a non-credited brick cleaner.
Yeah, absolutely. The brick cleaner is going to be the last professional that touches that wall. So having an accredited brick cleaner is going to ensure that it's looking fantastic for the first day that you move in.
Michael, thanks for talking cleaning with me today and thinking brick.
Thank you.
If you have enjoyed this podcast, please follow, rate, and review our podcast. We are always looking for new ways to think brick. If you have an idea of what you'd like to hear about, there's a link in our show notes to let us know.